Hey y'all, and welcome back to Leonard Creek Farm. Hey y'all, today I've been in the rabbitry. See, there it is. I've been in the rabbitry, and I figured it'd be a good day to talk about what the basic materials you'll need to start raising meat rabbits. So guys, we've been raising meat rabbits, for about 3 years. And so we have done some trial and error things. You're going to see some things that I use for one rabbit that I don't use for another rabbit, and I'll kind of explain why. Every rabbit's a little bit different. Every rabbit likes something a little bit different, but it's all pretty much basic things that you can get to get started. I want to say that raising rabbits can be as expensive or as non-expensive as you make it. So some of our cages, like these big cages, were given to us for free. We also have this cage in here, and y'all don't mind the mess in the barn here. This cage I found on the side of the road for free. There's a cage down here that needs work on it. We used it for an entire spring and summer. I found it on a Facebook trading post for free. So you can do this as cheaply or as expensive as you can run to your Tractor Supply, your farm supply store, and pick you up some of these Do More cages. This is what we primarily use. The bigger cages like these, like I said, were given to us. They were free. But when we buy a cage, these are the cages we buy. I did a review video on these, and I will try to remember to link the video below. We have been using these since the spring, I believe, and they haven't rusted. They've held up. I'm pulling on them. I use some for chicken tractors. I mean, you can see, use some for chicken tractors. I had them on the ground, and we haven't had no issues. Now, some of them we did go through and put some zip ties on. This one has a few zip ties on it. It was a bring back to the Tractor Supply store, and so it had a couple bins and stuff in it, but it could be used, and we needed it, so we bought it. But there's a few basic things, and I'm going to show you. But first, you need cages, and they're pretty cheaply bought. At our Tractor Supply, they have the 24 by 24, 36 by 36, and 30 by 30. And we have all of them. This is the 24 by 24. This is the 30 by 30. And this one here is the 36 by 36. So the very first thing you're going to need is cages. And if you're going to be raising meat rabbits, you're going to need quite a few cages. You don't want to leave your bucks and does together. So when you get started, you're going to at least need 2 cages for your buck. And now we're going to talk about waters and feeders. If you notice, none of the waters and feeders are the same in our cages. I like these metal bowls because they can be sterilized. I have one metal bowl that hooks to the cage. I would recommend, if you're going to get waters, really to do as I say, not as I do. Get ones that attach to the cage, because they will tip these over and bother them quite a bit. But they need a bowl. And like I said, I like the stainless steel ones. The plastic ones, they are more likely to chew through. But we use the stainless steel bowls here. This guy right here needs a shallow water because he gets in it. This is the bottom of like a gravity-fed cat water or dog water. And we use this because he hops in his water, and so his needs to be shallow. We also use Tupperware bowls, which I definitely do not recommend. This doe doesn't chew on her bowls, but I've had does and bucks that love chewing on the side of their bowls. This is a cheap way to have a water bowl, but like I said, it's not my favorite. I don't really recommend it, but we do use it. Also, another type of water we use is water bottles. Now, when I first started, I'd heard so many bad things about these water bottles, and that rabbits could dehydrate on them and things like that. We've been using them for a couple weeks, And it doesn't seem that the rabbits are dehydrating on it. I left a water bowl in here and then the water bottle, and they just seem to either ignore the water bowl or dump out the water bowl and drink from the water bottle. Here is a metal stainless steel bowl that has the clip on it, so it hooks to the cage. I don't know where this came from. We had one of our dogs brought it in, so this is from the neighbors. I think they brought it in and buried it, and so we just found it, and there it is. But if I could find more of these are what I would say ideally is the best. The stainless steel, obviously you can clean them up very well, and it has the hook on it, and it's super nice. Something we also use, back to the metal bowls, is dog food bowls. As you can see, she got hay in hers. This dog usually has a water bottle, but our livestock guardian dog took her water bottle last night and tore it up. So she's getting a dog food bowl, and one of our other dogs have a dog food bowl as well. Here's the other doe with her dog food water bowl. She doesn't pour these out or anything. Also, for feeders, we're talking about feeders. This is a cat food bowl from the dollar store. You can get these dog food bowls from the dollar store as well. Super cheap. It's easier to have, like I said, to have ones that attach to the cage, but it's not completely necessary. Sometimes we have one here, and it's out in the other hutch, and I'll show it to you. Like I said, we primarily use these, but we did build a hutch when we first got rabbits. And it is the gravity-fed feeder that attaches either to the outside or the inside of the cage. Now, if you were to use it on the inside or the outside of these cages, you would have to cut some wire out, but I use it in our hutch on the inside. So those are some basic things that you're going to need to get started into rabbits. Food, water, shelter. The basic needs of everybody's basic needs. Now, if you notice in our cages, we do have hay. Now, some people say that rabbits don't need hay. Some people say that rabbits don't need pellets. Some people say that rabbits don't need feed and pellets. I say do your research and decide what you want to do. We feed pellets for weight, to add weight on. I also feel like it's a more round diet for the rabbit. Along with, they get special treats like vegetables and fruit every once in a while, along with grass, fresh grass in the spring, in the summer months. But we also do feed horse quality hay, because we feed horse quality hay to our goats. We can get large amounts of hay for a cheap price, so why not? It's already going to be here, so that's why we feed it to the rabbits. I also feel like it adds fiber to their diet and helps them use the bathroom and pass things a lot easier when they have the hay diet. Some of my rabbits would rather have the hay than the pellets, like this rabbit here. He would rather have hay than pellets. Now, something that I'm going to try to invest in is hay feeders. I was watching a fellow YouTuber the other day, and she cut little like baskets, little plastic trays in half, and zip tied them to the outside of her cage, and that's what she put the hay in, and the rabbits could eat the hay through there. It was a lot less hay waste, a lot less of them pooping in the hay. So I think that's a fantastic idea, and hopefully we can work towards doing that for our cages. So, like I said, to get started, the things that you'll need: cage, water, feeder, or cage, water bowl, feeder, bowl, and hay, or something to hold the hay in. Now, this doe right here has a cardboard box right now that has hay in it. We have just recently purchased her, and she's supposed to be pregnant. I don't think she is, which is okay. They didn't guarantee anything, but I don't think she is. And so we're just got a box in there just to see if she starts pulling fur or anything like that. Something else I want to show you that I have found that comes in handy for rabbits. This one's kind of dirty. It's been up here on the shelf. This is a gravity-fed water I wouldn't use these in the wintertime when you have kits, but they're perfect in the spring and summer, because if you've got kits, you can fill this up and you don't have to fool with the water. Obviously, you need to clean out the bowl and stuff every day, but you don't have to fool with the water as much for mama and the babies. And sometimes maybe you have an aggressive mama, or mama don't want you to mess with her babies. Those work out better. The less that you're in there fooling around mama, the better off it can be sometimes. So let's see if we can move out to the other hutch, and I'll kind of show you what's in there. All right, guys, we're going to try to get in here. We've got our big boar goat Buck in here, and he's not the friendliest, and he doesn't like me messing around his girls. So we'll try to do this quickly, but I want to show you this hutch outside. This is the very first hutch we had. This is the one we built when we first got rabbits. So here's the hutch. This is all, as you can tell, recycled material from the farm that we gathered up. It's not the prettiest, but it works. So let's open it up and I'll show you what's on the inside. All right, guys, so this is the hutch. I haven't cleaned it out today, as you can tell. It's been really cold, and so we've got quite a bit of hay in here, but they are due for cleaning it out. They have a water bowl in here, and this is the gravity-fed feeder I was telling you about. So I like to have these for when you have multiple kits. That way you can fill it up. As you can see, I filled it up, and they can just eat it as they need it. Because when you have kits, you want them to have as much food as possible, and you want them to have access to pellets and hay at all times to help them grow. That way they can be good grow outs and good feeders. So guys, like I said, having meat rabbits can be as expensive or as cheap as you want it to be. You can always find, I hope y'all can hear me over the chickens, you can always find secondhand items, cheap items, free items for your farm and your homestead. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. Sometimes you got to look a little bit harder, but I feel like it's worth it. These rabbits pay for themselves. Even what little bit we spend on cages and materials, they pay for themselves and then some. And they pay for the materials. So I appreciate y'all hanging out. I appreciate y'all watching. As you all know, if you've been on our channel for any extended period of time, you know I'm big on meat rabbits and raising meat rabbits on the farm. And I believe that they're definitely worth the small bit of effort and the small bit of money that it takes to raise them. I hope this video was helpful. I hope this you took something from it to help you on your homestead or farm or to get started. I hope you all will come back for the next one. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.